Hi, I'm Tony Presley at Presley's Garage, and most people have no idea what they start and drive to work every day. These cars are not like they used to be. They're a PC on wheels, and just like a PC, they have issues. What we intend to do here is find the issues, whether it's a communication problem or whether it's a defective part. Most of the time, it's a communication problem. It's a wire somewhere doing something that we don't want it to do. Whether it's not opening your doors, it's not turning your radio on. It becomes very complicated for a very, very simple problem. Years ago, you push your window to roll it down, and the power went to the downside of the motor, and voila, the window went down. Today, it doesn't happen that way. It doesn't happen that way at all. Now you've got comm wires that connect everything. So you push your button to roll the window down. The button tells the body control module, hey, we want to roll the window down. Next thing, the body control module says, okay, well, it's not jammed, we're going to roll it down. And it either does or it doesn't. Today is kind of interesting. It's not a motor problem. It's usually a communication wire problem. The one problem that probably really has scrambled most people's brains is the key problem with the General Motors car. It's very uncanny how this happens. It works or it don't. To explain this, there's about 4 or 5 different versions of GM of how they work. But most late model cars have a key, and you'll stuff this key in there, and the BCM will read this voltage of this key. Well, shortly after that, you'll twist that key to the start position. Well, while it's in that start position, the BCM reads that voltage on the start position, because as that ignition barrel turns, it changes state. Once it changes a state, the BCM knows that you have actually turned that car to start. So instantly, it fires off a message to the PCM, and the PCM says, hey, this guy's getting ready to start this car. Are the numbers right? And the BCM says, yeah, we're ready to rock. We're ready to rock. Next thing you know, it grounds the start relay, car whirls up, and everything's fine. The problem really happens is when you twist the key and nothing happens. No lights, no nothing. That is disheartening. But the bottom line is you can't start replacing parts until you find out where the problem's at. So if you bring the car in and the problem's not happening, it's not going to get fixed one way or another. It's going to look like it's fixed because it's working just fine today. That's not the way it happens. The way it happens is it works fine while it's in the garage, and the next thing you know, it's in your driveway, and it's cold outside, rainy, whatever, and you twist the key and it doesn't start, and you say, God, why can't they fix it? It's because they can't see it. You have to actually see the problem to fix it. I can replace the ignition switch. I can replace the BCM. I can replace the PCM. I can replace all the wires that go to it if you're willing to spend all that dollars on them. But you have to wait until you see what's happened, because by the time you've replaced all these expensive parts, you got $1,100. Well, you could have $3,000 wrapped up in all this parts replacement. And what if it's a wire? You just spent all your money trying to fix this car, and it's still not fixed. That's I could make a lot more money if I just threw parts at it. Say, well, we'll try this, we'll try this, we'll try this. And then when you're out of money, then I tell you, well, we're going to have to track every one of these wires. We're going to look at every one of these PIDs and find out which one's bad before we replace another thing, because we've already replaced everything that's in there. It's disheartening. Fortunately, if you wait until the problem occurs and you can see it, then you can replace that part that's bad. Doesn't make me any more money. Matter of fact, it makes me less money because I'm only replacing the part that's bad. Sometimes you can go on Google in a particular problem, and if it's a pattern failure, in other words, it's consistent with everything that they've got on that car, sometimes you can get lucky on replacing a part. You know, if you see enough people saying they've got a starter relay problem, then it might be that. But the bottom line is the parts we have to work with today coming out of China and some of the other places that I ain't got a clue. They're junk. They're junk when you buy them. You look online and you can buy a TPS for $21. And you come here and ask for a price for a TPS, and I tell you it's going to be $121. And you say, my God, he's getting rich off that. No, not at all. Number one, that $21 TPS is probably a hollow shell. It probably never worked, never will work. There's so much counterfeit garbage out there today. It's just unbelievable. I know that was a big price spread between 21 and 121, but it almost is that ignorant. I've seen radiators for $35, $40. And I think they leak out of the box. Regardless, you're getting what you're paying for. Most of the time, if you want 100% sure, well, no, let me say this. Most of the time, if you want to be 75% sure that the part works out of the box, you'll go to the dealer and buy it. But hell, I didn't invest in lab scopes and DVM voltmeters for nothing. Most of the time I actually have to check the part to see that it's bad, and then check the new part after I put it on to see that it is good. It doesn't mean it is. For instance, the typical Ford throttle position switch. If you just grab that out of the box, and I don't care where you buy it, I don't care where you buy it from Ford, I don't care whether you buy it from Amazon, wherever it's at, you got to check that base setting. If it's already showing 1.5 volts as a base setting, you're done. That thing's a garbage. Now you got to figure out if you can't buy a good one, something that shows below a volt, you have to make that one work. You might have to cut that plastic a little bit to where you can actually rotate it back. But the parts we get today are really, really unique. You have to have the equipment to check the part to say that it's bad, and then check the new part to say that it's good. It's not like it used to be. This is a different world we live in today. I've got cars out there right now that are driving around with a problem that happens once every month. I believe I know what's wrong with the problem just from previous experiences. But until it happens again, I'm not going to try that problem. I've got a Ford that just is intermittent on whether it starts. I believe I know the problem for that one. But until it comes back in, sure won't fix it. And when I do, I'll tell the people I just rolled the dice, and this is what come up, and this is what I believe will fix your problem. And you know, if the part replacement is cheaper than the diagnostic work, we'll replace the part. Now, if the part's only $40, you can't afford me to sit there and pin out every one of the wires and lab scope the signals and the return signal. You can't do that. You got to use your common sense. If it's cheaper to replace a part, replace a part. Thanks for listening. I hope this has helped you in some way, but welcome to my world. One more thing before we go. If it sounds too good to be true, it is. You could almost take that one to the bank. If they offer you a spark plug change for $89.95, they'll wave their hand over it, and that'll be it. Because you can't do it for $89.95. Now, there are some things a dealer is actually changing oil for $30, which is a hell of a deal. Don't ask me what they're putting in it because I can't even buy the stuff for that. So you make up your mind what you want to do as far as taking advantage of their quote bottom line sales. Now I have no clue how they. Well, yes, I do have a clue on how they make the difference up. They recommend services that make them money. That's just a no-brainer. I don't deal with that. The bottom line is I pay X dollars for my parts, and I sell them for X dollars, and we're good. We're good. Your problem's fixed, and I'm happy. You're happy. Everybody's happy. The big thing is you have to find a service area with someone there that you can trust. You know, that's really hard to do in our world. That's real hard to do. But I recommend you do that before you have a problem. Because throwing parts at these cars is not going to fix them. Maybe once in a while, but not very often. Hey, you guys have a great day, and Merry Christmas.